So a couple of days ago, we saw the release of the Shadow costume for Classic Sonic and Sonic Superstars. Needless to say, he does look very adorable, but I am a bit jealous. What I could do is get the Shadow onesie on Amazon intended for a 10-year-old and show up to the movie theater on December 20th and becoming the ultimate disappointment for everyone that visits. Or I could just make my own. Yeah, I'll do that. Roll the clip! Good morning, gamers, and welcome to another video honoring the year of our Lord and Savior, Shadow the Hedgehog.
This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
Stay away from Ellie, you creep. So several years ago, I actually made a Shadow the Hedgehog cosplay for IkiCon of 2018. Needless to say, it was not that good. I don't even know what I was doing, and a lot of people actually didn't recognize that I was Shadow the Hedgehog. So this being the year of our Lord, and the movie coming out this December, I figured this would be the perfect chance to redeem myself and make the ultimate Shadow the Hedgehog cosplay, but not as good as this one, because I actually met this person. She actually went to the Sonic Symphony, and wow, that's awesome. That's amazing. I would love to see her go toe-to-toe with the Crash mascots.
I'm not housebroken.
But this one's going to be more of a conventional cosplay. Instead of a giant mascot suit, it's going to be more of, what if Shadow was a human being and he was wearing human clothes? You know, nothing to do with being a hedgehog. I'm not going to add little ears, like an outfit that I could wear as an any day kind of outfit, you know what I mean? I gotta tell you guys that the main inspiration for this cosplay actually comes from an Instagram user by the name of Carrion Cosplay. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll put that information right here up on the screen. I'll definitely put a link in the description for sure. But how they incorporated Shadow's red streaks on his arms and legs into the zippable fabric on leather jackets, like, I thought that was brilliant. The wig with the Shadow's quills, I mean, that's awesome. I'm not going to do that for my outfit because I actually have a different kind of direction I want to go with Shadow's quills. But that's for actually a much later video. A complete surprise on that one. But for this video, I'll probably just do like red hairspray streaks in my hair. And like I said, later down the road, I am going to do something with Shadow's quills. It's not what you think. Alright, enough with the introduction. Let's get into making this outfit. Jeez, alright, let's put this away. I don't want to overuse its chaotic nature. So to keep it simple, I decided to go with the gloves first. Actually, that's debatable because this could also be the hardest part of the whole cosplay, just because of how many parts and how many materials I have to work with here. But the first things first is that this is a pretty nice glove I got off of Amazon. It's made out of like fake leather, which is pretty good. I didn't want to go with cloth just because I feel like it's a bit too flimsy, not so durable, and also I am planning on using this cosplay not only for in December time for the movie come out, it'll be pretty cold, but also another reason which you'll guys see in a much later video. But in terms of modifying these gloves for Shadow, I mean the white part is not really a whole lot to do except the pinky finger is a bit too long and the thumb is very long. I mean you could see right there I could fold that much fabric down. So we're gonna go ahead and turn these gloves inside out like I already did with this one. And I already kind of marked where I actually need to kind of sew it down, where I kind of need to tailor it, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and just do a time lapse of that. Alright, so I just finished tailoring both of these gloves and now they fit pretty good. I give them 2 thumbs up. You see, we don't have any more fabric waving in the wind or whatever. So, next step, I found this pretty stretchy black fabric from Joann's. This is what I'm going to be using in order to make the, I don't know, the cuffs, I guess, of his gloves. Alright, I just finished up sewing the black cuff that's going to go around the wrist. This is what it's going to look like with the glove on. I mean, this looks pretty sick already. Now, remember, there's also going to be a red piece of leather, like kind of right here. That's going to be similar to his shoes, right? And then obviously we're going to have the ring on top of that. So now the next step would be to use the red leather. This is like fake leather, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to try to make, it's kind of like the, what do you call it, the lip or the tongue of like a sneaker. It's kind of the same thing, I guess. And then we're going to move on to the rings. Now these are like resin, I don't know, women's bracelets. I found them on Amazon. They don't fit. They're a bit too small, but I figured there's different ways I can go about this. Basically, I can either cut it directly in half and like add material, or I don't know. There was different ideas, but what I'm gonna end up doing is, hopefully this works. I'm gonna use a Dremel tool, right? I'm gonna sand it down like this, and eventually, hopefully, I'll get it wide enough to where I can just slip it over, right? Because right now that's definitely not happening. But eventually, hopefully I get it down to that size. I think I can. So first, let's go ahead and make the red leather part. Okay, so I may have had myself a happy little accident. So let me show you how I did it first off. I took the piece of red leather, folded it in half this way, sewed both these edges, and then used the opening to bring it back like that. Then I ended up with this. Now originally it was all puffed and it wasn't like holding its shape or anything like that. But I took it over to the iron, I used a ton of wax paper, and I pressed it down. Unfortunately, I think this material is super sensitive towards like a hot iron, I guess. And it kind of, I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of melted the fabric, or not, or fake leather, I guess. But, I mean, like I said, a happy little accident, because now it's all stiff, and it works perfectly fine for what I need it to, and considering how it made it look, I don't know, it kind of does already now look like Shadow's, because Shadow does have like, I guess, an indentation of some kind, like on this piece, where, I'll show a picture right here, where it looks like there's kind of a black, not really outline, but there is a difference, right? There's a thing there, a detail. So I kind of unintentionally got that. So now we can see what all three pieces look like together. Now, not attached or anything like that. I may take some super glue or Velcro. I haven't really decided yet, but this is starting to look like something. It's looking really, really good. So let me go ahead and finish making the second one of this, and then we can move on to modifying these. So I just finished sewing up the second one. You can see it's like it's all kind of puffy and whatnot. Now I'm going to try to attempt to recreate my accident from earlier, and well, we'll see what happens. So that actually worked out way better this time around. I don't know what maybe I did multiple layers of wax paper, I don't know. But it didn't develop burn marks like the first one did. This one's way freaking better. But I'm not gonna redo the first one because I think it looks cool. Adds to the character. Alright guys, like I said, these rings are a bit too small to be put on my hands. Like, that's as far as I'm getting it right now. So, my idea is, I came outside, I got my Dremel with the sanding drum on it, so we're going to try to make the inside bigger so it can slide. It can't just go over my hand. I'm wearing a glove and then the leather part right here, so I have to make it pretty big. Now the circumference on the outside of this ring is, I believe, 10.5 inches. I think I need 10 inches worth of clearance on the inside, so it should be fine. I should still have enough material to, I guess, still warrant the wearing of the ring. It's not going to be too thin, hopefully. But let's get started and see if we can make it work.
No, God!
So you're gonna love this. It broke. While I was trying to test fit this onto my wrist, this one works fine. But for some reason my wrist on my right hand is a little thicker. And I guess if you take way too much material off of a resin bracelet, it breaks just like that. I literally just like crushed it. And as I was sitting in my resin dust. It's all over my phone, all over my stand, all over my clothes, and all over my patio. You know what I just realized? I can go to Joann Fabrics tomorrow and get a foam dowel, the exact size and diameter that I need for the inhibitor rings. And all I would need to do, heat it up, put it into a loop, and then spray paint it gold. Why didn't I think of that sooner? I will see you guys tomorrow with the inhibitor rings. Okay, well, that didn't work. Putting it on was super tight, but taking it off, boom, it just popped. And like half of it was like exposed and it did not look good. Plus, this was kind of flimsy, so I went ahead and just ripped it off. Now I had 2 methods of fixing this, right? This is now 3rd attempt. Now originally I thought about doing it with Velcro, like getting a not this piece. This was a test piece, but like getting a like a gold like nylon strap, I guess, and putting a Velcro piece on it. But I couldn't really find gold. I found yellow, and it didn't really look that good because it would match the boots, but it didn't really look good in terms of like matching the overall aesthetic of the glove. So instead, I think this will look really good because if you look at this image right here, in Sonic Adventure 2's art only, the inhibitor rings aren't really rings. They're more like straps, kind of. So that's where I got the idea of taking a belt. This is a pretty thin belt. I got it from Walmart. It's very, very cheap. It was on clearance, actually. Taking a belt and cutting it to where it's slightly too long to where it kind of overlaps, kind of like that. Spray painting it gold and putting a little clasp right here and right here to where, you know, it just like snaps like that. And it looks like that when it's on the glove. So in that way, it doesn't take me like 5 minutes to gingerly take the glove off my hand. I can just snap it, and maybe like, you know, this part is exposed or so, and I can just slide it off. So I think that's the route I'm going to go with. This is just a test piece. I have the 2 pieces outside right now. They're drying with the 2 coats of gold. I'm going to try to do 2 more coats of gold because I really want these to shine, you know? And then we'll go ahead and put them on. But let me tell you guys, the inhibitor rings so far is the hardest part of the freaking cosplay. Alright, so I just finished the paint job on the straps. I did plastic dip, 2 layers of gold. Do you mind?
Damn, not here.
Alright, next up are the pants. And I got these things off of Amazon. I went with a like leather, like fake leather kind of pants for this because I wanted the sheen to, you know, match with the jacket, right? I want it to look like one uniform cosplay. So how I'm gonna do this leg, right? I'm gonna tell you how I did it, and then I'll move on to actually showing you. But I used the same red leather that I used for the back of the gloves, and I basically just kind of folded it like this. I put it on the inside. I took a zipper, and I added the zipper right here. Now, it's not exactly functional because you can't really close the zipper without folding this like kind of ridiculously. But it was surprisingly very, very simple to do. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do it on this leg. Now here you see me using hot glue to combine the fake leather to the pants. I really don't recommend doing that just because the fake leather, the fake red leather, it does not have a very good hold on its surface. Maybe if you heat treated it, it will, but I actually had a lot of trouble with the jacket coming up that I highly don't recommend using hot glue or even super glue. If you can sew it, my sewing machine's not that strong, but if you can sew it, I highly recommend you doing that because you'll get a much stronger hold. And that's gonna do for part 1. Sorry that I had to put this in 2 separate parts, but when you see the next episode and you see all the trouble I had to go through with the jacket, I had to reorder another one and that took forever to come in. You'll see it in the next episode, but for now, we took care of the pants, we took care of the gloves. This is the final product of the gloves, and like I said, you got that strap going on like that. It gives it off, you know, the concept art of, not concept art, but the actual art of Sonic Adventure 2. It does look very nice, and they feel great. Like, they feel like real gloves that you can actually buy, and I love that. I'm very impressed with those. And I'll go ahead and show off the pants in the next episode when I'm doing the full reveal at the end of the video. But while I'm here, let's go ahead and take a look at Nike.com and customize us some Nikes, because that's exactly what I did for Shadow shoes. Alright, so I made it to Nike.com. This is the Nike by You page. You can basically pick any kind of stylish shoe and you can go ahead and customize them. These are the ones that I did. The Nike Air Force 1 High. They were 150 bucks. Boom! It recognized me. These are the exact shoes I already customized. They're great. I love them so much. Let's see if I can click on them and we can, yeah, here we go. So here, you can already see that I got the bottoms yellow, the size, and the front all redded up. On the back, I got the black going on. What is that part called? I said it earlier in the video. Was that? Wait. Or no, is it it has a tongue. That's weird. Yeah, so that's the tongue. That's red. My favorite part is what do you call that? The strap. Yeah, it's okay, the strap. So this is pretty good. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see it on the outfit, the finished outfit. But with the strap, you can get them to any yellow. I mean, it was perfect because it already kind of looks like the rings that he has on his shoes. You know, at least I didn't have to really freaking blow my brains out with the inhibitor rings on my ankles. But these ones look so freaking cool, and I love how I managed to get Chaos Control on it. Obviously, I couldn't do the full control word, but it's fine, man. You can tell what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's basically what I did. You know, it's 150 bucks. Not too bad if you want to get some custom shoes, right, for any kind of cosplay. I tried it out with the Sonic's soap shoes, because I guess soap is not a thing anymore, right? I tried it out with his shoes on these very same shoes, the Air Force 1 highs, and it worked. It worked great. I think someone did a video. I'll post it off right here, right? I'll put a link in it too. Someone took Epic Grind shoes, I think that's what it's called, and they made that look like Sonic soap shoes from the game. So that looks so cool. I'd love to see if you can take those same shoes, right, and turn it into Shadow shoes. Maybe a video in the future, who knows? But yeah, go to Nike.com, Nike's by You. You can customize any freaking shoe that they have. I mean, I like that it was Nike. It wasn't like just a custom, like, you know, shoe or like a shoe that I got from Walmart and like changed up a little bit and like added colors to it. I did that for my other Shadow cosplay. I actually got some shrimping boots for that. But I like how these look, you know, they look streamlined. Like, they actually look like a real life version of the shoe. It's not like, I would have preferred it if it was a carbon copy from the game. But considering that these are, you know, they are official Nike shoes that I customized myself to look like Shadow shoes, they look great. And that'll do it for this video. So please hit the subscribe button so you be the first to know when part 2 drops, and I'll see you next time. Good night, gamers.